Okay guys, I just got a brand new ITV Awak 317 in black. This is the first time I'm opening it up. I'm taking it for a little bit of a test flight today. The weather out here is horrible, and I would really enjoy some better weather and a little more time to fly it, but that's not going to be the case today. Wing came with a couple little things. Looks like a windsock, an ITV windsock, and a ITV quick pack bag. We've got very, very little wind, so this is going to be an exciting, exciting launch. Ooh, there's our manual and a little owner's thing and a lanyard. A couple of little cool things there. Let's take this wing out and open her up, and I'll give you guys kind of my first impressions of this Awak 3. Now, little backstory, I flew one down in southern Utah back in November. I flew it for like 15 minutes, and it was a size 15. This one right here is a size 17, so it's on the bigger side. The reason I went with 17 over 15 is because I live at high elevation. I'm here at 5,000 feet where I'm standing now, and launching a 15 at 5,000 feet is not really anything I want to do. Oh yeah, this black looks good. Look at that. Awak 3. Woo-hoo-hoo. That fresh wing smell is just so good. It's just so good. Nice little ITV riser bag. And boom, there's our risers. Very sleek, very simple. This wing is not a reflex wing. This is a traditional airfoil, as I refer to it. It's designed to be a bit of both a paragliding wing and a paramotor wing. So it's super efficient for soaring and thermaling and stuff like that. But it's also a fun, very, very fun, playful paramotor wing. I'm going to turn. I'm going to bump up these trims, that yellow line. Now, a lot of people launch these things trimmed down. I don't prefer to launch anything trimmed down. I like to launch every wing trimmed out a little bit. It's a little bit easier to inflate a wing trimmed out than it is to inflate a wing trimmed down. All right, it's launch time. ITV brakes. We'll see how I like them. Here we go. Okay, so right off the bat, it's a very bumpy day, so I can't do too much in terms of playing around. And also, that's quite a bit of wind right there. But I will tell you, the wing feels good. It produced quite a bit of lift. Launching it was not quite as easy as like an ozone. It came up nicely, it stayed up nicely, and it produced lift nicely. I'd say it's not a hard wing to launch. I did launch it at the first yellow line. I'm not sure what most people launch them at, but that's what I decided to launch at today. And that's probably what I would recommend people launch it at. That makes inflation a little bit easier. I'll play with different launching settings as I go to just kind of see how it feels. I want to do some collapses. I'm not going to do that unless I'm over water with the reserve. Both of those things I don't currently have on me. I'm not going to do too much today in terms of flying because of the conditions, so it's just going to be a quick little flight. There's no tip steer, so it does handle a little bit differently than a wing that does have tip steer. You know, tip steer is referred to as like power steering for paramotor wings. You know, you touch that tip steer and that wingtip just dives to the ground, and it's amazing. So handling in that sense is maybe a little bit less. I don't have an RPM gauge to see what my cruising RPMs are, but I will tell you it feels like it cruises at a super low RPM. I mean, I'm like babying the power to get anywhere. I can't tell you what my speed feels like because I have wind, so it's kind of an inaccurate reading, or would be an inaccurate reading because there is wind. So I'm not going to tell you anything about that. I'm just going to tell you how it feels. These brakes feel pretty good. I didn't know if I was going to like them or not. I won't say they're my favorite brakes in the entire world, but I don't mind them. They get the job done, and they get the job done nicely. The risers are super sleek, super simple. The A is green for some reason. I don't know why they did that. I would maybe preferred it to be red, but that's just one of those silly little things that don't really matter at the end of the day. The trim is decently long. I don't know if most of the speed is in the trim or if most of the speed is in the speed bar. This wing isn't necessarily designed to be that cross-country rocket. It's designed to be that freestyle play wing that doubles as a paragliding wing. The reason I got this wing is because I use it for days that I want to go ridge soaring or paragliding in the mountains, for days where I fly when there's thermals, for things in those kind of situations. I might even use it as my mountain flying wing. I really like my Dudek work for that, and I do like my freeride for that. But we'll see how this wing kind of feels as I get a little bit more time on it. I'll be curious to kind of paraglide this thing since I live near the point of the mountain, to see how it kind of feels without the motor, and to see how it kind of feels in a little bit more rocky conditions. It is a certified ENC paraglider, which is super cool. Most paramotor wings don't get EN certified. She rips. Now, I don't want to compare the handling side by side to my freeride because my freeride is a 16 and this is a 17, so it's kind of unfair. But I will tell you right off of the bat, you know, that little dive around thing, it definitely didn't handle like my freeride did, which I wouldn't expect it to since it is a size bigger than my freeride. You know, the freeride, from what I've experienced, is just the most playful wing you're going to get. And this wing is equally, is pretty dang comparable in terms of playfulness. I'm digging it. I've hit quite a few bumps so far, and every bump that I've hit, it's felt pretty solid in. You know, not being a reflex profile, it's going to have a higher tendency of wanting to collapse. Reflex profiles are more resistant to collapses than traditional airfoils. This is a traditional wing, so it's going to be more inclined to collapse. Its recovery from the collapse is going to be what makes it special. And so when I have a chance, I will go out and I will do some collapse tests on it, and I'll see how it kind of feels in collapse tests. I have a feeling it's going to collapse pretty freaking well. I missed the tip steer. I keep pushing my hand in because that's how you apply tip steer, and I don't get any tip steer when I do so. I will say as well, this rig feels like very, very solid. Sometimes wings feel very loose, like they just want to like move around a lot. They don't feel like they're planted in the sky. And from everything that I've experienced so far, this wing feels very planted in the sky. I mean, here I am going up a mountain in wind on a pretty nasty day. Climb rate feels good. I don't want to say anything too much about climb rate because my motor, or this prop, has some damage to it, and so it's just not climbing like it should. We're getting a little bit of ridge lift right there. Yeah, buddy. There we go. A little bit of sink coming out of it. Nice. Rocking. Currently going through some bumps. Feels just fine. Doesn't dance a lot. Some wings dance a lot as in they move around. It doesn't seem to be moving that much. Feels pretty solid. Feels pretty planted. Feels super good in these bumps. I'm not nervous at all, which is very, very nice. And I mean, I'm barely baby in this throttle, and we're cruising right now, or we're at least maintaining altitude, so we're soaring. starting to get a little bit more bumpy. Now it's starting to get real bumpy. We're going to start making our way away now. Oh yeah, she's playful. And she carries energy real well too. I don't want to drop too low here. I'm going to kind of bounce away from this mountain. Get back over the flatlands. Mountain flying is a treat, and it's best enjoyed on smooth days. Totally can fly in the mountains when it's not a smooth day, as you can see, but it's not as pleasurable, it's more dangerous. Is it worth it? Probably not. Pick your mountain flying days a little bit more meticulously. I could totally top land this thing right here, right now. There's a little rock pile. Let's just see this glide ratio real quick. Brakes on magnet, no throttle. Oh, she's good. She's good. Oh, it's good, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's good. I'm just touching just the tiniest bit of throttle so that the motor doesn't die on me. Oh, that was good. That was an impressive glide slope right there. All right, I'm going to climb up a bit and head back to the airport.